Very, very warm good evening. A very, very happy new year to all of you. A very, very happy new year 2026 to all of us. This is Arunava Chaudhuri. You are live on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. And I thought over the Christmas, New Year's break, I'll be doing less of shows, but it seems that this ISL topic happening, not happening, there's always sort of say daily updates and on things are happening. So therefore, even on the first day of the new year, I am back and hopefully it will be a better year for Indian football. I tweeted this afternoon something. If you haven't, do have a look, like it, say something about it. Because not only tweeted, but I've put it out on all my socials saying that 2026 for Indian football is the test in which people and institutions have to prove how much they care about the beautiful game and its development in India and only about themselves. The test is on. So therefore, that is something that I have tweeted today. Armin says, Happy 2026 New Year, Arunava sir. May God bless you with good health. And I hope the first good news is that this year his Kalyan Chaubey regime gets over and we get better president similar to Patel and Das, meaning Praful Patel and Kushal Das as secretary. Armin, let's wait and see what happens. Again, it is very interesting to see what happens because we don't know what's going to happen. Ashish, Happy New Year, sir. आपको और आपके family पर गुरु Raknath ki kripa bani rahe. Ashish, thank you very much. My best wishes to you as well. Happy New Year to Apex. Good evening, Zoravar. Happy New Year, Shivam. Hope Kalyan departs soon. Thanks. Belated Happy New Year. Thank you, Zoravar, to you as well. Good evening and Happy New Year as well. Good evening, Siddharth. Hi. No New Year's party as no, there isn't. Course noise, as well to you. Ocean, we finish off the year. We finished off yesterday. The report is now online with the Sylvester Lauf, the Sylvester run, or the New Year's Eve run, so to say, that there is in Remscheid. Right. Once more, also, as always, saying we've grown the community quite a bit in 2025. We stood at 3,634 at the end of the year. Thank you very much to everyone. We now stand at 3,638 as we start the show. So therefore, thanks a lot to all of you who are watching, who are following, and so therefore, that is the hope and the aim that we can get towards the 5,000 or even more. Thanks also for my growing Instagram as well at the moment. So therefore, thanks as always. And do like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel if you're listening and you're liking. And, so your support is needed. Why nobody talks about the hidden partnership behind the stage between Churchill Brothers and Kalyan Chaubey, and why Churchill sisters everywhere in the committee? Gina and I, there are two things. Right, if we want to talk about the committee part, we can potentially talk about it. Why Valanka is in the exco and in other committees as well, because for me there's the one point that you have to differentiate. If you're in different positions, then you need to be clear what role you're taking up. So if, let's say, Valanka is in the AIFF as part of being part of Churchill Brothers, but also the Goa Football Association, and she's also there for the Women's Committee, then you need to be smart enough to make those differentiations, which is not there. And is there a hidden partnership or nexus? Again, people have spoken about it. Even if there is, what kind of impact has it had? Has it had any impact? That would be my question, and I don't see anything that needs to be talked about. Any update regarding ISL yet? Heard that there will be no home and away matches this ISL. So I don't know what, again, you've heard. The question is, what do the clubs want? It looks like that if we're going to have um, a bubble similar type of kind of season, then the season most probably will happen in Goa. That seems to be the case. We're still not clear about the format, about the matches. Is it a one group as being discussed? I think Kolkata seems to be out of the questions. Other locations, venues don't seem to be getting takers as well. But is the ISL happening? Again, I stick to what I've been saying now for nearly 3 months. We're at 1% of the ISL happening. So yeah, so that's where we were, that's where we are, and that has not changed. So, which is the club you support in the UCL? Apex, I support here in Germany and the UCL Bayern Munich. We've got a different kind of situation, relationship to the club because I've done work for Bayern Munich. So, therefore, for me, it's not just supporting Bayern Munich, but I've also worked for the club as well in the past. The year changed, but the situation in football remains the same. Yeah, sure. Nothing has changed since yesterday. The situation is still the same. There is no clarity in regard to how things will progress, and we are in a situation where changes are desperately needed. But where are those changes, right? Uh, um, who's going to make the changes that are necessary? I've not seen anything so far. We're still talking about the same things. We're still talking about this will happen, that will happen. And yeah, it's I don't know. It's crazy um, that we are in a situation. Uh, uh, so therefore, yeah, let's wait and see. Here, Odisha FC is shutting shop soon. No, Zorawar. They are where they are. Um, have they shut shop? No, they haven't. Are they shutting shop? Nobody knows. It depends on what happens with the ISL, you know, you know, and so yeah, let's wait and see. Leading Gabonese government sacked Gabonese national team coaching staff. Roshan, in Africa, if one likes it or not, this very often happens, right? That governments interfere in these kind of things. I know that FIFA and CAF, as a continental body, are always fighting it. Let's see what happens. With City Football Group having left Mumbai City FC, do you think the likes of Kratky and many foreigners like Tural will leave as well? No. Rather, if that was the case, they would have left already. They're there, right? So this thing, again, I think those who have, and I've said this, if you think that this is a decision that City made at short notice and then said, you know what, we're out, this has been something which has been going on for months, right? I think, you know, and most probably the timelines are not clear, right? So therefore, yeah. What do you think about Bayer Leverkusen, sir, after Xabi Alonso left? They are not great. Why Apex? They're actually doing okay, right? I mean, they had Erik Ten Hag for a short while. Now they have Kasper Hjulmand, and they're top three, top four, top four in the Bundesliga. So with not only the coach leaving, but also with Florian Wirtz leaving, Jonathan Tah leaving, Granit Xhaka leaving, a lot of other players leaving, I think they're doing very good. So I don't think that Bayer Leverkusen or Bayer 04 Leverkusen, if you want to say it properly, that Bayer 04 is doing bad for themselves. I think they're doing actually quite well, given the realities of things. I disagree with Lothar Matthäus that Germany should learn cricket from India, considering how corrupt BCCI is a for cricket fans and use outdated technology. I don't even know in what context Lothar said that. Again, I don't know why he said it. But who should Germany then, if you think that Germany should learn? Again, someone asked him this question and he just gave an answer. Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? To me, Lothar Matthäus to speak about cricket makes no sense. But again, he gave an answer because he was asked a question or given a query, so to say. So therefore, for me, yeah, take it with a pinch of salt. I watched interview with Arata Izumi, was very about level of coaching players and OCR representation. Roshan, sadly, I haven't seen it. I wanted to watch it, but I haven't had the time. Yeah, we'll look into that and then let you guys know. If there's any top division league in India for upcoming, if there isn't, I guess is what Zorawa you want to write, any top division league in India for upcoming months, will FIFA not ban us now? So rather, if you want to ban a federation, you need to have reasons to that. And as weird as it might sound, but not having a top tier league is not a reason for FIFA to step in and say, guys, we're banning you, right? So, sound as I say, it might sound a little weird, might sound a little awkward, but no league or having no top tier league, let's put it this way, or actually no, not having the league structure running fundamentally is not a reason for FIFA to step in, right? Um, it is for AFC and FIFA to interact with the AIFF and help the federation try and figure out maybe a solution. But at this moment in time, the way it is, sorry, there is no reason for FIFA to step in. Happy New Year, Augusta, as well to you, and once more to everybody else who might be listening afterwards. Best wishes to all of us in 2026, and hopefully at some stage this year, hopefully things look better. Look, we've got an upward trajectory for us in Indian football. And that's the thoughts on national sports bill which we've implemented today. Arman, you know, um, the the national sports governance bill, if we want to call it properly, to me is on one side is a good step, trying to streamline sporting federations within India. But on the other side, there are certain things which are a little concerning, which is this sort of this oversight factor from the government, because some of these national federations are not really under the control of their global bodies. Uh, you know, you know. So therefore, for me, on one side, it's good, but again, like as when we talk about the All India Football Federation, and to me, it's very very important that we that this bill also evolves. That's the version, let's say a version 1.1, 1.2, maybe even a 2.0 down the road, that it gets better. FIFA has shown concern regarding the current state of Indian football. So, no, of course, but again, it is not a reason to ban. I think that is something that a lot of people have been saying, ban, ban, ban. No, there is no ban in the background. Okay, Gaim, thanks a lot for the 100 rupees. Thanks for not giving up on Indian football, and Happy New Year to you. Thanks a lot for your support, not only you and to the others as well. Um, I will never give up on football, on Indian football especially, because this is something which I have now been supporting in my Oops, sorry, just didn't realize. Um, for me, sorry, I just realized. Oops, I was just speaking without realizing I wasn't on the screen. Time to Baichung Bhutia. Times now. Good. Seems to be connection issue with the device. Sorry. To me, the Baichung Bhutia interview is great, but the question is if Times Now or News 18, who are they speaking to? That is my problem at the moment, right? Talking about Jamshedpur FC, simply, the issue with Jamshedpur FC to me is that, and I've said this a few times over the last few days, um, if the football team is not run, then Tata's will pull the plug, shut down JFC, and focus only on their academies. Meaning be it Tata Football Academy or be it all the other sporting academies that they have. So therefore, those are some of the realities that we will, if you like it or not, will have to. Sorry. Those are some of the realities that are there, and then we'll have to sort of work around them. Are these East Bengal fans so much deluded that they couldn't even see the clearer picture of the absolute chaos happening, or are they dumb enough to understand? G9, there are those and those, right? I think you cannot brush all fans over the same, you know. The problem is with fans of different teams, so to say, will be that at East Bengal, certain fans, I'm sure they understand what the scenario is. I truly believe that they do. But there are other fans who are blind and whatever the official club line is, they follow that, or some are under peer pressure, in their respective fan groups. So that those are things as well. They said that they will not play whatever league promoter called Ashwini or Tata will stop investing altogether. No, may not. May is the wrong words, Ravar. Tata's will, at the moment, the Jamshedpur FC management is under pressure. If there is no league, Jamshedpur FC is history. So if I see their situation, then they have to play. Otherwise, they're gone. Is Kalyan Chaubey the worst president in the history of the AIFF? I know three. I can't say about presidents 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago. I've seen three, Mr. Dasmunshi, I've seen Prabhu Patel, and I've seen Kalyan Chaubey. Yes, amongst those three, Kalyan surely is the worst. Sorry, Kalyan. If the league happens, will it follow the same format like how the FSL does it? No. Augusto, at the moment, I think the question is there, again, my question is, every day we're not finalizing, we're losing time. So now, even if you sort things out, mid-February, ideal case scenario, means with breaks and all that stuff. So we got maximum 90 days of football at the moment to talk about, right? Um, that means if you've got 14 clubs in the ISL, if all are playing, then it means 13 matches. Or if you do groups of 7, you've got 6 matches at least, and then whatever format you do after that. So therefore, there are 2, 3 different models that you can talk about. Again, there's the question of, is going to be relegation, promotion? Is who's paying for what? Is there a franchise fee? Commercial partner? Who's funding the whole shebang? Right? The 70 crore budget to run things sounds very nice. But is the 70 crores going to be able to run everything? Is that money enough for us to be able to run Indian football? Simple question. And the simple answer at the moment is no. So therefore, the problem is that the Odisha FC stand of saying, you know what, um, that we are in a situation of um, what the format will, nobody knows. I thought there would be elections ever with the sportsman postponed it by 1 more year. No, Shumit, sports minister has done nothing. So September, it looks likely. Is it even a question, says China Nai to Aman regarding AFF president? Siddharth says AFF arrogance, club's lack of interest in longer vision just killed the Indian football. If you want to, you know, sum it up that way, yeah. To me, Siddharth, every interest group in Indian football is looking after their own interests. They're not looking at Indian football as a whole. Forget the AIFF, which will be their job. Forget the top level clubs, forget the I League clubs, forget the clubs in the I League 2, I League 3, forget the local league clubs, forget the coaches, forget the players, forget the agents, forget grassroots, this, that. Everybody is looking at themselves and not looking at the overall picture. And as long as we do not have the right, and I go back, only the right leadership, only the right people. Otherwise, nothing will happen. That is the key. Is it you call it AF arrogance? I think a lot is ignorance. It is not even arrogance, it is ignorance. At this point, it's best to just give East Bengal a league title without playing any matches. Otherwise, the fans will keep blaming everyone for conspiring against them. However, again, whenever you hear these so-called conspiracies, you, I, we, all of us need to call it out. We cannot allow it to just go in there, right? I mean, I find it funny. I really find it funny that people at East Bengal fans say that I am someone FSDL or then Mr. Goenka, blah, blah. And family wise, I'm an East Bengal fan, right? And the thing is very simple. You guys have driven me away. My association with Mumbai City FC and my association with Round Glass Punjab is the thing which I say which counts, right? So for me, if you want to talk about things, East Bengal fans need to come into reality. Any positive news, sir? And why even younger player with relatively smaller contract not even trying to move abroad? Mukul, no one will take them, even if they try. Again, as I said, it is not easy for an Indian player to go anywhere. Even to get a trial somewhere is going to be difficult. I know certain foreigners who are trying to go somewhere are not getting contracts. So if you're an ISL player, your reputation is not the best. Kalyan won't last 15 years like others, so obviously no. Who's lasted for 15, 20 years? Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, guys. The sports minister have this 1 year people sitting in the high rank could afford FTs and samosas. I don't know if it's a ministry level issue. The ministry have their sets of issues to look at, and try to coordinate. Those are, again, as I said, that those are their realities of things, and Indian football needs to sort itself out internally. Otherwise, yeah, it's going to be difficult. The other big question is whose will be the broadcaster. No FSL means no Geo Hotstar or Star Sports, or SSN will be broadcast partner once again. Zorawar, what does broadcast partner mean? Broadcast means no OTT or streaming platform. So SSN, fan code, even Indian football, YouTube, all of that is OTT. Right? So therefore, broadcast needs to be either Star Sports or Sony. I've heard people tell, people say, oh, it needs to be, Doordarshan needs to be an alternative. And I said, if you're going to do Doordarshan, then let's go back to the mid 90s, pre NFL days. Forget I League. So therefore, but none of them are interested. Right? Is any one of them going to give you the money that you want, that you need? So the question is, commercial partner is one, your broadcast partner is another thing. And if you don't have a broadcast partner, then the question is, are you, add on top of all your costs that you already have. You have to run the league, manage the league, this, that, everything. On top of that is your broadcasting costs. It takes it to a different level. Hi, Arvind. Ryan Williams, do you think switch nation to play football? He would worry about Indian football. He did the switch. He knew what the situation was. I salute him, and I'm really looking forward for Ryan to playing for India. The more the league gets pushed forward, the more players are going to leave, and it will be difficult for the clubs to get players from abroad. Augusto, 100%. I mean, if your league starts somewhere in Feb or March, maybe even worst case, let's say you've got to shorten something, which is, don't call it league, call it competition, tournament, whatever you want to call it. Who are you going to sign? Who's going to come? Right? So either on one side, you're saying, oh, you know what, you need to reduce costs. Okay, we need to reduce costs. But if my foreigners already, forget my Indians, my foreigners for their standards are also overpaid, right? Then even to attract anyone as a foreigner, we'll have to overpay. Or we go back to what I've just seen in the IWL is, IWL, all foreigners are Africans. Are we going back to that phase where we've got big-bodied Africans in the men's game coming and playing? There's a lot of things linked to these. So therefore, there are big questions, big queries, which need to be answered, which have to be asked on one side, but have to be answered as well. And that is the difficult part at the moment within Indian football. Where do we actually factually stand? And I go back to, I said this in the last few days a few times. If we like it or not, maybe we have to think about not having a league, right? You know, so this is the thing. Fan code, how good? I am impressed. Yeah, they're good, Morley. I think the reputation of ICE is such that the foreigners will find it hard getting contracts. Yes, Robert, exactly. That's my point, right? Arunava signed a loan deal with Parsip Bodong. His agent have multiple choices on new players. Player agents are busy as how to gain money from every transfer. No, again, and this is also again, this is agenda, right? Arvind, if you're going to say it, or Goku, if you're going to say this, maybe there are Indian agents like that. Others I know are looking at options, but they're not finding options. An Indian footballer to place anywhere is close to impossible. Who do you know how bad we are at the moment? Yeah. Jesse Lingard moved to South Korea. How do you see? Murali, I saw the transfer. I don't know what he did. So therefore, it's difficult for me what he did at FC Seoul. He went to FC Seoul, but I don't know how good or bad he was. So yeah, right. So maybe try to organize a Durant Cup. Augusto not happening. Durant is going to happen next season, and Durant the clubs will not play. Shocking. Enzo Maresca leaves Chelsea. Chelsea was in good form. How is this exit? How will it impact the club? Shalnata, the relationship between the manager and the club owners, the management was not good, right? I mean, in the last few weeks, and especially if you see some of the statements in the last 2-3 days, it looked like it was bound to happen, right? And Maresca, um, the departure looks weird because Chelsea's fifth, but like a lot of teams in the Premier League, you have some teams, oh, we're really good, and then they drop, and then some others come up again. It's an up and down movement, right? So therefore, to you, it might come as a shock, but I think if you look at some of the statements over the last few days or weeks, actually, even pre-Christmas period from Maresca, it doesn't come as a surprise. And the Indian players' interest also matters, even if they have interest, but their quality, no club will want them. Again, you are just mentioning what I just said. The players might be wanting to go abroad, but who's going to take them, right? It's that. Oh, listen, I want to go and play XYZ country. Nice, but who's going to take me, right? Nobody. So that's also a thing. So it's time for Indian players. But small league. X9P again, smaller league, even bigger problem. Who will take an Indian player? There is no. Arata said problem with Indian football continue the same as he had in 2006 till now. Murali, I've not seen the interview, therefore I don't know in what context he said that. Yes, except no one will take Indian player. All African foreigners and domestically seems like repeat of I-League and NFL. Yes, Robert, we could be heading that way. The IWL, for example, is doing all the mistakes that were done by the NFL and I-League 15, 20, 30 years ago. Right? And again, the women's game, I've said this even in Germany, the women's game in Europe also is committing a lot of the mistakes that were done by the women's game across the decades. So the men's game across the decades. So the women's game is really not learning of these mistakes. Do you think warning sign in which the league is heading? What warning sign? Really, this is what the warning signs have been there for the last 3 years. I have said this, you know, and we are now past warning SOS. We are in. This is about survival of the league and survival of a lot of these clubs. Or not only that, it's also about uh, um, the money that people are willing to spend. It looks like conversion will not happen. Extended period again, and these circumstances make no sense. Happy New Year, Utsav. Welcome back. AIFF has resumed its hunt for a new commercial partner, and according to the new proposal, a new tender could be out by mid-January after overly ambitious previous tender found no takers. Apex, do you think that even a new tender would have takers? My question is, um, given these, you know, um, realities, given that what has happened or is happening, would anyone pick up the tender? With if the AFF doesn't, if the AFF controls everything, if the clubs control the rest, hey, I'm only there to give you money. Those days of Dudu Omagbemi and Willis Plaza. Yeah, Dudu Omagbemi, Willis Plaza, Ranky Martins, Odafa as well, all these guys, Chidi Ede, those were the days. I guess Kalyan Chaub is sabotaging stream today. Roshan, again, who knows? I guess it's Deutsche Telekom, but with their problem, um, where, yeah, these are technical issues. So I don't think after all this ISL will happen. ISL will not happen. AFF does not have budget for ISL. Government will not support. No commercial partner. Business partner would control over league. If even if there was again, I asked the second question now. You a lot of you have been mentioning, oh, you know what? If there is control over the league, there would be a commercial partner. Who came forward? Again, forget the original tender in that way. Who came forward to say, hey, listen, I'm interested in your rights? Was there anyone with a sane mind who came forward and said, okay, listen, I'm coming forward. I am willing, even if I have control, am I'm willing to lose 200, 300 crores without thinking in the next few years? It doesn't make sense. AFCON makes all kinds of controversy. No, it's not controversy. Who says? African Cup of Nations is fun. Even if they start the league in February, how long do you think the league will be played? It will end in May at some stage. It will have to end before the 31st of May. That's what I see. But again, it's going to be also hot and all. There are a lot of factors. What's the mistake in German women's football repeating for men's football? Asking out of understanding. Roshan, look at how the women's game is being structured now. Even on the commercial front, forget German football. Look at European women's football. It is all the factor money. You know about Chris and his club, how they literally have been forced down the pyramid because of other clubs with brute power, financial powers, right? So again, it's the same as the men's game. So going on loan to second division to Southeast Asian League might work if they're ready to give trial and get scouted locally. You might have a chance. Utsav, who's going to give? Who wants to take in Southeast Asia? If I'm going to take a foreigner, even if I'm a second tier or third tier club, if you're even allowed to play third tier and that's semi-pro, you know, why would I take an Indian? Think it from their side. Forget the Indian player's approach. Why would you give an Indian player the chance of a trial? Because he's world class or something? Why would I go and give an Indian player a trial? Right? So this is we have to think also from the other side, Utsav. Nobody is waiting for our players. Nobody is waiting to say, okay, listen, the Indians are so good, I need to get an Indian. No. Does they have any kind of information about the Indian players' current status? Don't mention any names. Are there any players who are trying to get into foreign clubs? I know about none. I've said this multiple times. I know about no player going abroad. Retender will again scam, no one will bid, and bidder will get 10 to 1 lakh reaching an unreal scam for retender again happen. Yeah, that's what my point is. I read from some fans arguing that when clubs run the league, they have to organize the league. Yeah, Roshan, that is. But the question is a simple thing. 14 clubs standing together for one thing has not been possible, right? You know, so that's the point. If you as 14 clubs cannot stand together, do you think that they can run the league? Simple. And the answer, it answers itself. The AIFF is not in a position to run the league. The clubs are not in a position to run the league, which means whoever is that commercial partner needs to run the league. So therefore, for me, that is not a question. That's a game, set, and match answer. It answers itself. I don't need to ask you or you or you or anybody. This is the reality. If 14 clubs, I've said this, I did a video about this a few days ago, where I clearly state you've got 14 clubs. Sorry. 14 clubs plus AIFF. So 15 entities to come together, to work together. If the league doesn't have a strong league commissioner who's trying to keep everybody together and keep everybody happy, this is already a disaster waiting to happen. Because Mohun Bagan will always have their position, East Bengal will have their position, and there will be 5, 6 others as well. League will not start in February. 20%, even 0.001% chance I will start. That's what I've been saying. Why do I say? I say 1% chance. There's a 1% chance of the league happening. And I've been saying this now for nearly 3 months, right? Your opinion regarding the proposed AFC Nations League. So, Robert, I've given my thoughts on the Nations League in a separate video. If you haven't seen it, please do have a look. I like the idea, and let's see what happens. Al Hilal, where do you place in European standard? Murali, mid-table team in most European leagues. Let club shutdown. No, I say happen. Odisha only need one notification already. They are shut down. Next Kerala Blasters, next Mohan Sporting, etc. X9P, Odisha FC still haven't shut down. Let me just just get up. Let me just organize my router once. Odisha FC haven't shut down. Odisha FC are very close to shutting down. Let's say it that way, right? They are in a position where you say, okay. Kerala Blasters, I don't see most of the entities shutting down. I see them scaling back and saying, listen, we might not play top tier, but we'll keep the rest of the club running. So that is an opportunity, a possibility that I see with a lot of these entities. Will they do it? Will they not do it? That will be the interesting question to see. Mohammedan Sporting will survive. Mohammedan Sporting will, worst case, will play Calcutta Football League and IFA Shield, and they'll be happy. So we could go through the whole list. There are different problems. As I said, Jamshedpur FC is in the position that the Tatas have clearly stated, or Tata Trust and Tata Steel have clearly stated, guys, if you're not playing the season, we are pulling the plug. That's a clear mandate, a clear saying, guys, either happening or Tata bye-bye. So they have to act accordingly. So therefore, Jamshedpur FC is trying to figure out, hum kya karna hai to survive for now. And that's why they're saying, okay, we are going to play any league, because otherwise our owners are saying, ciao, bye. Which at the moment, at least, the others are not saying. So that is, I think, a good step, that despite this whole scenario, all of this fiasco that has been happening, that no owner so far has said, you know what, let's shut down. Even with CFG leaving Mumbai City FC, Bimal and Ranbir Kapoor have not said, let's shut down Mumbai City FC. They could have said it. They have invested themselves a lot of money over the last 11 years. But they are keeping Mumbai City for the moment alive. That is the reality of things. So therefore, let's take that positive, that so far no entity, no club has shut down, at least for now. And then think about, what are the next steps? What could happen? What would happen? What needs to happen? And that is a very interesting scenario. And therefore, let's wait and see what happens. For me, that's the real question. But again, I don't know if the things will happen or not happen. But we are in a very, very difficult scenario, because the AIFF is reluctant to do its job. The job of the AIFF would be, very simply, get together the EXCO, speak to the state associations, and make necessary changes to the AIFF constitution so that they are not owning and running the league. Very simple. Will that solve the problem? I do not know. Nobody knows. So this is another answer that we need to keep in mind, right? That at the moment, we are not in a position to tell, sorry, we are not in a position to tell that if you also make the changes, if there's going to be any commercial partner. Because outside of FSDL, there has been, or outside of Reliance Industries, there has been no commercial entity which has really come forward and said, you know what, I want to do this. Jamshedpur FC stand is clear. They will play the league in any form. If they don't pass it, Tata Trust will stop. Gee, man, we've talked about this, and I've said this myself. So let's see. The average Indian player doesn't have a quality to play in Sunday league. Yeah. You think time to teach ethics to a federation in football from basics? Yeah. Morally, forget everyone in the system. You could do ethics class with a lot of people in the system. That's the brutal reality of things in regard to Indian football at the moment. Indian fans should think themselves, will they accept a Bangladesh or Pakistan as a foreigner on their side? Zorawar, forget Indian, Bangladeshi or Pakistani. The question is, you know what, if you like it or not, there's the one other Bangladeshi or Pakistani you would have to take in regard to quality. I'm talking purely of quality, and we have a lack of quality. Yes, Yaship Fasi will not be able to play. Asan Tasser will get stop funding to all football. Not all. X9P, they still have the Tata Football Academy. Again, whoever's putting out the information, be careful with the infos. Tatas have not said anything officially, formally, but it is very clear that if there is no league, they will shut the first team. Khatam. FSL suggests the best approach, but the only problem was money to run lower tier and grassroots. AIFF wanted more money. No, they sorry. Forget AIFF and lower tier and whatever. Right? They needed money to run the general system. Sorry. They need money to run the general system. Forget lower tier. Even the I League is. So yeah. So why FIFA and ORS is stepping to fund AFF? Why would they, Utsav? Why would FIFA AFC step in to fund? Hey, Uchut, Happy New Year. Also to you, with the way things are going, I think there will be a proper league only next season, and that might make some teams to shut down catch 22 situation. Yeah, Uchut, we are in a very bad, you know, uh, you know. So to me, you know, um, yeah, let's wait and see. And as I said, 1% chance is, and if things don't change, that 1% doesn't grow to 2 or 3 or 5 or 10, it stays at 1%. So that's also a reality of things. Right, already 46 plus minutes of this live on the first day of the new year. Like, share, and subscribe. As I say, 12 likes so far, guys. I think we can do better. We had 37 likes yesterday on the last Indian football discussion of the year. And share with other people. And if you haven't, you're listening, you're liking what we're talking about, do subscribe to the channel. We're at 3,639. Thank you very much. As I say, first target of the year to get to 4,000, then to 5,000, and then higher. And thanks as always for your support. Sir, accept your words for many months. I used to think after watching Kirisari, posting a simple word to all Indian footballers on daily watch news or ISL will not happen 100%. Yeah, sadly it is. At least with AC Nations League, we'll get regular national team matches. Zorawar, you are getting national team regular matches anyway to qualifiers, this and that, right? Yes, we did. We missed a few before the June window. We were playing all the matches. So again, the rough fact is AF is threatened with relegation to clubs which will not participate in the league happens this season according to the proposed AF model. Apex, I've not read anything of that. That's been reported. I've not read anywhere they've threatened of throwing teams out. A daily search ISL news, new turn comes in. You know, um, Um, Searching is always good, but again, trust your sources. Also, your thoughts on Pranjal's retirement. He blames it on the AIFF referees department. Ochut, someone like a Pranjal has always been not an easy referee because he's always had his own mind. Uh, so therefore, has not been easy for the AIFF. He's not been easy for the IFA as well. And if he's out fully once and for all, that's a big problem for Indian football because we don't have too many good referees. By the way, who owns Odisha FC? Utsav, it's owned by the Sharma family, with Rohan Sharma being sort of say the face of that team. With CFG gone, I guess Mumbai City will be back being a mid-tier side. No, I don't think so, Zoravar. I think Mumbai City can still compete. There's still some certain inputs that they can take out of CFG. There are a lot of learnings for the team, for the club. And again, we don't know if there's going to be caps and all that stuff. So who knows? And again, even pre-CFG, Mumbai City were not small spenders, right? I mean, season one, I spent the most. So we have to be honest about that. So maybe it's going to happen 27, not in 26. Let's wait and see. Without a partner, the league won't even happen. And if still was there, they at least brought a partner like Hero. Yeah, Augusto, they brought totally a Hero, other partners as well. But again, the commercial side of things have not been evolving in Indian football. That's also reality. Without commercial partner, practically impossible for AIFF to organize ISL till khatam, ghee khatam, budget khatam, paisa khatam. Yeah, forget organizing ISL. Every other competition is in danger. Average Indian football player like basic skill, which even Japanese school, college player had the quality. Okay. Vasunda King beating any club in league, are you surprised? No, I'm not. Al Hilal beating Man City, FIFA Club World. That happens again, but again, that is like Super Cup and all that stuff. These one-off matches you can always win. If it was AFF president, bro, I would kneel on knee of FSDL to remain commercial partner. Everyone, no one wants to invest in football after seeing such words performance. X9P. This is what I also explain to people. It's not a matter of performance. It's the will and desire to spend money. Even if we were better, do you think anyone would put in the required money knowing that you're going to lose money over a certain, not certain, but extended period of time? Simple question. If you're losing money left, right, and center, again, Reliance supposedly lost 3,500 crores. Just run that figure through your head. Just think that people, how many people in India could afford to lose that kind of money without blinking? Not many. That's your real problem, right? It's not a matter of success or failure. If Indian football was a little bit more successful, yeah, maybe some money could be raised. But our system is so over, the top, it will not work. Is Indian Football Federation badly managed federation in India? It is a badly managed federation, morally, but there are other federations which are as badly or even worse managed. That's Indian. India is, yeah. Jamie Vardy's player, how do you see transition from lower tier player to big level? My great career, period. Jamie Vardy came from the lower tiers, of course, linked to the rise of Leicester City. Yeah, he's done brilliantly for himself. Can we say Grimsby as better player than India? I don't know what the level of players at Grimsby are, Morel, so I can't compare. AFF should ban, even if we get banned, bro, you can't resign after not able to organize I-League as well. The not organizing the leagues, um, and is not a reason for FIFA to ban India. So that's also something. Mumbai City FC will have to use their old jersey, I guess, from now. They won't be able to use the City CFG jersey from now on. Also, club logo will change back to it was. Why? What's the logic, Zoravar? Do you think that in December CFG said Tata bye-bye? CFG has been gone for a while. It was just announced in December. They if Ashish had made a note about it that, oh, you know what, CFG has left, nobody would have known. CFG has been out for a while. And Mumbai City has been having that logo, Puma, Etihad, whatever. So nothing is going. Why would it go? Again, how do you come up with these ideas, guys, sometimes? So why FC doesn't have a system like AFI Youth League where U17 best team compete on continent level? Do you think it could work if we divide East and West? No, it can't. It's of too high a cost. In Asia, it won't work. And East West, forget it. It's an U9. In Europe, it's a U19. So a lot of things happening in Asia take longer because they have to financially calculate it. And again, I think certain clubs would like to have it. I think most clubs will say too high a cost having our under 19s or under 18s travel across Asia. Kyle Walker versus Joao Cancelo. Kyle Walker, Murad. If honesty is the starting point, as Arunava says, what uncomfortable truths do you think Indian football still refuses to accept? I know that we are not as good as we think we are. We need to rebuild from scratch. We need a new federation. We need a new league in regard to the structure that has been built over the last 11 years has been systematically destroyed over the last 2, 3 years. And again, there are players, we need better quality players, which means we need a reset also at grassroots at youth level. What we are producing at grassroots at youth level is rubbish. Sorry, let's say that. So then, you know, I think we need to, a lot of coaches with B, C, D licenses most probably should be taking their exams again and tougher exams, I guess, if they're really qualified to do. Is I League days coming, sir? Is it AIFF have budget to arrange I League? No, they don't. X9P, without money coming in via the ISL, the AIFF is in no position to do I League, I League 2, I League 3. Again, I've said this multiple times. I'm repeating myself with these kind of things, guys. No. The ISL has been your bread earner, your money earner, and with that, the rest of the system has been funded. If that money is not coming in, nothing is happening. The level Al Hilal team or other in Saudi, huge difference. Morally, I don't watch enough Saudi Pro League to be able to, again, Al Nasser I saw recently looked very good. Yeah. India will only grow in football if we have proper grassroots like academy teachers who knows basic grassroots tournament with no age frauds, etc. Arman, yeah, those are basics. But again, I say if you want to fast track our development at the top level, then I think that is possible. But for that to happen, then I need to integrate players of origin as quickly as I can into my system, right? And that is those two things, in my opinion, are interlinked. If we're not interlinking those things, nothing will happen. We need to grow at the top. We need to grow at the bottom. If you're gonna try and build grassroots in Indian football, and then hoping, okay, listen, you're gonna be so good that it'll push us at the top. That will take us. I won't lie, 20, 25, 30, maybe 50 years. If you're waiting for a grassroots revolution, it's not going to come overnight. Sir, is it I feel Indian fans deserve this? Did negative PR against FS to invest in Indian football. They think Indian football is European football. One mental 250 crore, bro. X9P, yes, to some extent. Uh, you know, um, you know, um, the problem is again, you're generalizing, right? But to me, the point at the end of the day is what works or what doesn't work. And the realization still is not, no, you know. Can you name me a footballer who failed in top division but became a lower division legend in German football? Sarava, there are tons of them, most probably now at the moment, and I don't know the whole of lower level football in Germany. A lot of these guys used to be in youth academies of the Bundesliga clubs but didn't make it. But does a name come to mind? No, I don't have a name for you at the moment. Sir, being honest, I think we need to import European coaches these days, 200, 300 overall in a 2, 3, 4 coaches each state. X9P is not going to happen. A nice idea. This is something which the Chinese or the Qataris, the Saudis, and all these countries have been doing. Again, is it really the answer? I think we need to educate our own coaches. I think many fans are up for a rude awakening to pre-ISL situation after the ISL. We had seen what a chaos and unstable Indian football leagues were before. Most of the new fans came here during the stable ISL era. Hopefully, everyone comes down from their fairyland dream. My question is, how long will it take our Indian football system back and how long? Welsian, very good, very valid point that you raise. My question is simply on, or observation on what you're saying is that this will take a substantial period of time. I don't think there is a solution short to midterm on this. I think the challenge on this is, can you sort this out over even the next season? If the AFF remains stubborn, and doesn't do anything, then this current AFF puts pressure even on the new AFF whenever that new AFF comes in, if they can turn it around. Because they will have to go around with a begging bowl for people to help them. Instead of owning the league is such a big issue, why don't they ask Supreme to make amendments on the judgment? Utsav, they don't need to go to Supreme Court. The changes to the AFF constitution is so that the AFF can make changes by sorry, the AFF can make changes by itself, right? The AFF doesn't need the Supreme Court. What does it take with the current crop of players to go abroad, even third tier or fourth tier? Is it wrong to expect the league to produce even one player that goes abroad? Yes. It's not the job of the league to produce players to go abroad. The factor player going abroad is, first of all, the desire of the player wanting to go abroad. People willing, able, capable of helping that player to go abroad. Baichung Bhutia wouldn't have gone abroad if there weren't people like Raj Purohit, Jazz Baines, and others helping at the time. Sunil wouldn't have been able to go abroad if there were certain people, Nuno and others. Changte couldn't have gotten his trial if myself or my very good friend Krish Roy wouldn't have helped. So this is not just on the player, on the league. It is on the player and the league. And now with the involvement of agents, again, if your player goes abroad, that also means a lot of work, right? It's not easy. Sorry, we had this. Will we get if we get a small investor future? We will get an investor, but who? Is it FIFA ban as if Supreme Court, if it happens, some other fire petition of the AF destroying football, Supreme Court ban AFF new association formed? New association won't be formed. If a new association forms, why would they even get a registration from the global body? Right, would be my question. So for me, that is not a solution. Supreme Court ordering the AFF something, yes, is third party interference, could help, but I don't know. Top order in football is European, South American, Asia. These orders will change in future. Moral, I don't even know if this order exists. Again, these are all theoretical stuff. Would you put Asia ahead of, for example, of Africa? Where does North America's feature? Where does Oceania will be the weakest, most probably? AF is less than 20 crore in their coffers at the moment. Zavar, yeah, most probably even less. So the question is, what can the AFF fund? What can the AFF do? They need to raise money. They need to raise money to run even Santosh Trophy and other state competitions, right? So we are in a very tricky scenario with the AFL. More than now, once more reminder, guys, like, share, and subscribe. 12 likes only, guys. We need to do better, and we're still at 3,639. Thanks a lot for your support. Watch the short videos also that I try and do on a regular basis. I did something with hopes and wishes for today. Yesterday, did something about looking back at 2025. Yeah, not a nice view, but again, do watch the short ones. Like them, hype them, spread them out. If you are in WhatsApp groups, which or other whatever groups, Telegram, Discord or whatever, and thanks a lot for your support. Said I watched today Baichung's goal. I think after watching that, I think being honest, Baichung Bhutia was better than Sunil in scoring goal in itself, where Sunil depends on good cross header. Yeah. Extent, I don't know which goal you watched from Baichung, but yeah, let's see. AFF member are more traitors than Kalyan. They have passed no motion against Kalyan. That again, it is not easy. I spoke about it yesterday, right? That the difficulty of being part of the All India Football Federation at this moment in time, as you, I, and we speak, the issue in the All India Football Federation, in my opinion, is that even if someone says, listen, I want to remove the president, uh, people need to come together. But who's going to be that leader to stand up and push the clubs in that direction? Simple question. Who will push the All India Football Federation in the direction of saying, hey, guys, let's act against our leadership? You need someone to stand up. And that leadership is not there in the AFF, right? That is something, if I, you, we, like it or not, you know, that's the part of the problem at the moment, given the reality. So therefore, for me, um, you know, yeah, that's very difficult. But again, I don't know if things will change. So you're saying F wants to keep hold of the ownership even though they know they can't afford to own the league. Utsav, I'm saying nothing. I'm saying at this moment in time, it looks like it what you're saying, but is it really the way that they want it? No, I don't think they don't want to go to the Supreme Court and ask questions. AFF less than 12 crores says some money reserved for FIFA AFF cannot use for other purposes. Only says, yeah, but again, they don't have money. You know, how did Arata got the foreign club head coach role despite the state of Indian football? Zurafa, the state of Indian football doesn't mean Arata is good or bad. Inter Escaldes is owned by the guys at Inter Kashi. I don't know if you know that. So Indian players, Inter Kashi have tried to put, you know, players into it. They haven't been able to get work permits. And Arata and Devan Daniel, both of them have been there and done things. And yeah, now Arata is there, and I wish him all the best. Bachung goal in one English club, Bury FC, not Furry, Bury FC. Yeah, yeah, most for a goal from 1999. Yeah, I know which. I think I even know which goal you mean. Arata maybe through coaches. Yes, Arata maybe through coach in Andorra top division. Yes, X9P. That's the reason. The Interkashi guys, or Prithvi Das is the one who owns um, Interscaldes. So therefore, Arata and Devan, who've been part of the Inter-Kashi youth setup, went there, trained there, and now guys in Andorra think that Arata is such a good coach that they're going to give him a chance. But Baichung is in Ranjit agendas. I don't know, Rakesh, and I don't care about this. I think it's Indian football goes so down. Andorra League coach, we are celebrating. No, I would have celebrated even in the best of times. An Indian, again, Arata, of course, to me is a anomaly because he's a player of origin, right? And he's Japanese born. So that to me means forget everything else. Arata will be hardworking, dedicated. And he's always been, right? Since he came to East Bengal and then went to Mahindra United, then went to Pune FC and then played for some of the ISL teams. Always great, great midfielder, stylish midfielder, great work pace, great, lovely. So for him to make it out there, irrespective, even if Indian football was in its high, for someone like him to get that role, again, yes, you have got Indian owners, but the Indian owners cannot force on the club and say, hey, you're going to take this guy. You will take this guy and make him the head coach. Doesn't work that way in Europe. So therefore, for Arata to get the job, brilliant. Arata Izumi, first Indian coach in Europe. Top tier, surely. There must have been someone Indian, or again, most probably are in amateur football in other parts in Europe. Someone or the other is an Indian passport holder. Is it any European league better than even Andorra League in terms of speed, sir? Is it X9P? Is it than ISL? Yeah, I think it's better than ISL because the quality of players was better, right? So we're talking about a region. Andorra is a small, locked-in country between France and Spain. So their football, and they're close to, let's say, Catalonia, Barcelona. Their football is so technical and so good that every Indian player would struggle. And I remember they had in Oscar Sunji was a long time, um, Andorra captain, right? They're technically good. So I think the whole Andorra national team could play in India. Sorry, so that's the reality. So yeah, let's see what he's able to do. Yes, Queens Park Rangers also had Indian owners. Maybe they also wanted Sunil Chetri. X9P, yes. The Mittals are still there. The Mittal family. They've been with QPR, and Sunil was, when was this? 2009. They tried to sign Sunil at the time. Sadly, they couldn't. So that's something which sadly didn't happen, right? And yeah, it didn't. Um, Sunil Baichung got the work permit in 1999. 2009. Sadly, Sunil didn't. Sorry, Sir Judge Andorra due to FIFA ranking when I search, don't watch Andorra League. That's the problem also, right? You are judging the Andorra League on a Google search. It doesn't tell you anything about the quality, right? That's the other problem, right? Again, nice that you're doing Google search and this and that. Google search is nice. As I said, also in Indian football, you'll find a lot of information in regard to the Google search, but is it right or wrong? You don't know, right? So that's the problem. That is the problem with all of this. All the conversations that are happening are nice and good, but again, are the facts really known? Because there are some stuff is theoretical, some stuff is lives in reality, and that's the problem, right? So yeah, back in this. Why is this? You think if Venki's wanted to get Indian players to Blackburn? Yes, they did. Venki's was still there, lost to Wrexham today in the championship in the second tier. Venki's have been also around now for, I think, 12, 13, 14 years, I think. Have never really done what was needed. And sadly, yeah, big failure, I would say, in English football. Yes, majority of European league better than us in style of play speed. Yeah, that's it. So means Sunil was unlucky. Bachung get, yeah. Some will say Sunil was unlucky. Um, Others, will say, oh, he didn't get the support that he wanted, he needed. So yeah, reality of things, right? Sunil wasn't unlucky. It was in a committee, and the committee just turned it down. So yeah, that happens. Sadly, if I like it, you like it, we like it. Those are realities of things, right? So yeah. So how's the standard of football in countries like Slovenia, Slovakia, Malta, Serbia? Good. If you look at the countries that you've mentioned, Serbia is the strongest of the countries. Um, right? Then Slovakia, Slovenia as a fight. Malta will be the weakest, but all of this is better than what we have in India. Venkis have owned Blackburn Rovers since November 2010, but their tenure has been marked by controversy, fan protests, and inconsistent performance. Yeah. And Stephen, this last season they were trying to push for Premier League playoffs, couldn't get there. And this year they've tried to get rid of players and are struggling, right? So those are realities. Is Celtic FC have so much quality over Sunil? Yeah. Well, do you think that Sunil Shetty could play at Celtic? I mean, forget it now. Sunil's too old anyway, but I don't think Sunil ever had the quality to play at Celtic Glasgow. So sorry, doesn't work for Mr. Chetri. Right. Quick reminder, as I said, like, share, subscribe here on Arun Foot. Let's keep on growing the community, guys. 15 likes today so far. Thanks a lot. You know, uh, so keep on growing the community where we talk honestly about um, things in Indian football. And as always, I say, I need your support, guys. Without that, we can't move forward. Just saw by accident Trish Revari playing for 5-2 in 4th division. Yeah, Regionalliga Südwest. Yeah, he's been playing there for quite a while. Roshan. So is it that we can see Indian origin and Background Rovers future? Who's Venki, sir? XMP Venkis are a Pune-based poultry company, and they've never had origin players for whatever reasons. They tried to bring in certain people linked to Indian football in management in the past, that has backfired. But they've never had players, even origin players have not played for them. So I don't know. Um, you know, Blackburn could do with that, but they've never had those kind of people playing for them. That's one of those realities. Why? Don't ask me why. I don't know. But that's the reality of things. So that's the Venkis for you and for me, and how difficult it sometimes is to figure out what is right, what is wrong, or if people are going to do it or not, right? So that's the other thing. Doesn't happen automatically that way. Right. 1 hour, 13 minutes, 10 people watching. Once more, thanks to K Gyan for the 100 rupees earlier in the show. Um, yeah. The main thing that I can say to you watching now, those who were with us earlier on, um, keep on supporting Indian football. Don't stop supporting Indian football because if we don't support, if we don't question, if we don't ask things, nobody will. So it needs you, me, us, all of us to keep on asking these questions. Otherwise, Indian football will, yeah, will die out, right? And that's a concern, you know. So therefore, for me, yeah, that's very very important. So let's wait and see what happens. So Brandon Kela playing fifth division, such quality. Yes, of course. Yeah, Brandon, others are there as well. EPL should have winter break like other European countries. Working on Christmas Day or New Year's Day is depressing for me. Stephen, it is part of the English football culture to play Boxing Day, for example, even though there was only one match on Boxing Day, but also playing around the New Year's Day. That's English football for you. So for me, if I like it, you like it, we like it or not, that's the way they operate. Um, and then we'll see. But to me, yeah, a winter break makes sense. Maybe the English winter break could be, I don't know. But now, of course, your problem is you've got European competitions, right? You've got European competitions in January, and that makes it a little more complex. But you know, so let's see. Let's see what we get in 2026. Yeah, well, then I think that's the challenge for you, me, and everyone, right? Is are things going to happen the way that you, I, we all hope, wish, right? At the moment, I'm not sure where we're heading. Uh, so I'm hoping, I'm wishing that we go into the right direction. But the danger is we're stuck in a cycle at the moment where we're rather going down than up, and that's the challenge. That's the challenge, and things need to change. As I say, and I've repeated this, things need to change in the AIFF, and if things don't change in the AIFF, then the overall system can't change. Yes, sir. German league have good Indian origin player, and no, not at the top. I mean, Roshan just mentioned. I think the highest level playing player is a guy called Krish Revari and for Freiburg 2 in the fourth division Regionalliga. Otherwise, I wouldn't know any top level players. Ochut says in the US as well, they have matches of various sports on holidays. Yeah, I mean, be it around Thanksgiving or now, NFL and all that stuff is taking place. So yeah, and NBA. So that's yeah. So to me, different countries, different ways of doing it. For example, handball, ice hockey, basketball, all of these leagues are happening here in Germany. So football is an anomaly in that way, and they're saying, hey, listen, we've got an extended Christmas break. So being honest, if anyone care, Indian football says a first solution, if we get Yan Danda, our set piece solved, he's so good in free kick corner, kick in forward, Shan Hundred, etc. Yeah, let's see. XMP, we'll have to wait and see. Again, as I've said, I have fought for OCIs. I will continue to fight for OCIs, but when it's going to happen, I don't know. And that is the challenge that I see with Indian football is that are the decisions going to be taken in the right time, in the right framework also. It is a challenge. And yeah, let's wait and see how things change. But at the moment, it's very, very difficult to think. Has there been any mismanagement such as this anywhere? The Wellsium, surely. I don't know where, but I'm sure that there's been mismanagement of this kind, and there are issues and problems, even in bigger and more successful. Like I think I read 3-4 days ago. I think the Argentinian Football Association was again raided for financial irregularities. Right, so the Brazilian and Argentinian ones are in police investigations, this and that, everything all the time. First, bring OCI, import European coach to train Indian youth, investing grassroots. Grassroots will give output 20, 30 years, so give instant solution. Yeah, but you're not going to get the Europeans coming to coach, right? So again, who's going to pay for it? Someone has to pay for it. It's a nice idea, X9P, very nice idea. But if nobody pays for it, we don't need to talk about it, right? Again, the time to have nice ideas is gone. Now it's things to act, things to do, and these things are not happening, right? Do you have any favorite ISL season? Augusto, to me, it will be the first season because I was involved in it. I was there when history was being made. So for me, the first season of the ISL will always be special to me because I was part of it. I formed a club from zero. When I sat there, we started off, we had nothing, zero, nothing. And that is something which you cannot take away. So therefore, the next season or this or that or anything, um, not happening, right? So therefore, for me, yeah, the first season. So how to start club work? How much minimum budget I can have to own club? X9P, it depends on where you are. So on what you're doing. Your costs in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore will be higher than if you're, I don't know, in some smaller state or in the northeast or, small. There is no, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to do? Are you focusing on only on grassroots? Are you working on youth? Are you working on a first team? All of these things have a different cost. So therefore that has to be factored in before you can say, oh, you know what, it cost me 10 rupees or 100 rupees or 1,000 rupees. Again, you could set up things with 50,000 or a lakh. But if you've got bigger things, then you're suddenly talking about 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs. So there is no, scale. The more money you have, the better always. Sir, I think one solution for football, one state government take responsibility for sponsoring football, making world-class stadium, just like take out wrestling, Odisha take hockey, river football. I don't think football will work that way. It is nice. It has worked for Odisha and hockey, but I don't think that I adopt. It just isn't worth the question. How was the conversation with Ranbir and does get involved with the club? Augusto, during my time, Ranbir was very much involved. If I look at the starting phase when we're talking about the logo, if we're talking about the colors, if we're talking about the jersey, and then about players, Ranbir was fully involved. I wouldn't be able to tell you how much he's involved today, but at that stage, in those days, he was very much involved. So therefore, different times, different age. Um, yeah. So for me, the, it was overall it was a challenge, but it was a fun challenge to try and create. You know. So yeah, in UP maybe serve within 5 crore. Again, I don't even know what the costings are in UP. Again. And therefore, I will not give you a figure. I can't give you a figure. I don't even know what the costings are, right? I'm not going to blindly say, oh, it'll cost you this, it'll cost you that. That's what I'm saying. It depends on what you want to do and how much you want to spend. UP takes wrestling sponsoring responsibility, it takes hockey responsibility, hockey revival. Yeah, but again, hockey is a very special story. And Naveen Patnaik, what he's done, not only for hockey, but even for football, for sports development in the tribal belt of Odisha, he has done a lot. So therefore, for me, those are very special stories. Again, UP wrestling sponsorship, I don't even know what they do. Steven, with the clubs refusing to fund the league, AIFF can dictate terms under the guise of saving Indian football. Fans may suffer delays, format changes, or reduced quality could alienate supporters. Stephen, I think a lot of fans have been alienated already. And the problem is that this guise of saving football, I don't think, again, there is a certain section which will fall for that. But I think a large part of fans will not fall for that. They forget delays, you know. And the quality is going to be reduced anyway, right? We're going to get a bad, whatever the league is, if a league is played, or even next season, the effects will be felt in the next 2 3 years. commercially, organizationally, operationally, broadcast, funding, everything, quality on the field. It will all be affected by what has been happening over the last, yeah, 3 years since the people came on board. Whole club revenue works over sponsoring. Sponsorships, depending on what is your level of club. In an European context, you would say you get sponsorship, you get gate revenue in regard to ticket sales, you have merchandising, you sell jerseys or other things where you've branded your club. Um, Television rights is an important thing. So it depends again. And you're saying within 20, 30 crores, I don't even know. Again, as I say, you're putting out figures. I don't know. And again, you should always, when you're planning, be sure that you're funding for the next 2, 3, well, not 2, 3 years, at least the 3 to 5 years. The effects of development of players will be a major impact. 100%. Stephen, we have been having an issue of player development since 2020, since COVID. Today is the 6th anniversary of the first warning from Wuhan that COVID is coming. And COVID has been a major dampener on Indian football development because certain structures which were being built pre-COVID, even in January, February of 2020, that literally collapsed. And then you've got the whole AIFF thing which happened. Other things happened, and since then it's not been resurrected. And look at even I'm so happy that Bibiano qualified the under-17s for the Asian Cup. But look at the football we played, right? It was bad. And it shows to you, that COVID has had a general effect on youth football. Also having a FIFA under-17 World Cup every year, meaning Asian Cup every year. Instead of developing a team for 24 months, you're developing teams for 12 months, and then you're going to the next generation. Yeah. So that's something which has had a major impact. You know. So therefore, that's the thing. How reaching the football national position is it? How X9P, the question is not diploma. Administrative position is, in my opinion, is a combination of studies and experience. Theoretical and practical knowledge. How can you get both of them together, right? And sports management, of course, yes, is a bonus. Hey, Rushabh, too late. No, you're not too late, Rushabh. Yes, we are 1 hour, 25 minutes in, but and I always also say to you guys, like a day today, we had very good discussions. So do watch maybe earlier parts of the show. I'm good. Happy New Year, Rushabh. Welcome back. And yeah, let's see what happens in the next few days and weeks. Do you know what happened to Pune City? Was Ritik having any ownership? I think he was only brand ambassador, if I'm not wrong. But again, I don't know the structure of them during that time. Manada wrote the letter from 13 clubs to AIFF, but AIFF has an answer. No, because AIFF has no money for organizing the league, so leave the production broadcaster side. Yeah, Kumar, this is a tit for tat situation, right? You're putting pressure on me, I put pressure back on you, and then, yeah, there is no answer to it. There is no answer to it except if the AIFF at some stage says, you know what, we need to change the constitution. The commercial running of the Indian Super League needs to be taken away from the AIFF and handed back to someone who can potentially do it. Yeah, so that's the thing. Do you think if we somehow get the league to work for years to come, do you see the foreign players come here to play? Yes, for the cash. Will it be hard to get quality players as this? Well, then, no. If you're going to throw money at players, they will come. Players are very simple. It doesn't matter if it's an Indian football or foreigner. They will come for money. Just because yes, it has. But there are players who even this season have come to India, right? Where I'm surprised. New players, again, those who've been around, I understand. But yeah, that's the problem. Hey, Ishan, are there still glimmers of hope? There's always glimmer of hope. But I know in regard to the league, Ishan, to me, the best solution is to say, you know what? Forget 2025-26. Let's plan for 26-27. But then for that to happen, elections need to happen in the AIFF. We need a change in the constitution. We need to think about who can come in, who will do what is needed. And that's the first question. I know that Jamshedpur is under pressure. If no league happens, Tata wants to pull the plug. But that's now for the Jamshedpur FC management to convince Tata, say, guys, yeah, doesn't look good, but maybe next season. There is infinite darkness, end of the tunnel, no light, end of the tunnel for Indian football. Unfortunately, New Year bringing no positivity. Stephen, the reality is, um, again, you could talk about, light at the end of a tunnel. I talk, it's like a black hole, and we're going deeper into that black hole. We're going deeper, deeper, deeper. So that light or yeah. So yeah, that's the way it is. So black hole, we're going deeper, 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 deeper in it, and we can't even see the light at the entrance. So simple and simple election will happen. It should, but it's India. Therefore, don't nail me down on a 100% answer. So people may not accept it, but you have contributed a lot to Indian football. Even the TJF last episode showed the Ban versus India game that you arranged. Thanks for doing what you have done. Thank Nishan. I have done what I've done. I will continue to do what I will do. Again, I am not someone who just talks for the sake of talking about things. I have done things, right? I am not someone. If I'm giving you, I do give jam, right? I'm now older. Later this year, I will turn 50, right? I'm a 1976 born person. I always say I've done it, and I've seen it, done it all. I'm one of the few people in the world, actually, forget Indian football, who've actually been in all kind of different positions within the football system. I will do whatever I can for Indian football, and if it changes, then it's good. What do you think F needs to do to bring back FS or any other entity to convince them to continue to take gamble on Indian football and invest heavily? Rushabh, I don't see anybody except FSDL Reliance coming back. That's the first thing. I don't know which entity, given the current scenario, would want to come into Indian football. Right? Simple question. So let's see. Crazy news from Gabon. Gabon national team suspended by Gabon government referred to notice players Aubameyang and captain Bruno Manga from future selection. The entire staff also dissolved, citing poor AFCON 2025 performance. Samad, you might think it is crazy, but that's welcome to African football. But now the club should play this tug of war there until September. This Kalyan Chaudhuri will be there in this room. Yeah, let's see. What is BSL? Bro, stadium looks worse than Bangladesh. No crowd. Why BSL happening? I have no idea. Again, yeah, those are the kind of competitions. Those are the kind of competitions you have nowadays, and that's the lack of quality we have. Sir, for thanks to you watching your channel for some 6 months, you always give right news rather than being messiah and fooling fans by fake news. You're always saying ISIL will not happen. Yeah, but I'm giving you I'm giving you my opinion on things, right? I am telling you what I think is right or wrong, right? I might again, I will not always be right. I'm also saying that to you, right? I might be wrong on something, but I give my perspective on things from my knowledge and understanding, right? I am not blindly saying, oh, this will happen for sure or that will happen for no, it doesn't work that way. The indifference shown by the sports ministry is nauseating, to be honest. No, Ishan, what can the sports ministry do? It is easy for you to come and say, oh, sports ministry, you need to do this, you need to do that. Yes, can be. But they are in no position to really do something which will change the scenario of the whole or impact of this whole impasse, right? Their problem is what can they do to change the situation? Yeah. So for me, the problem isn't is the sports ministry really doing what it's needed to do, or is the sports ministry really not in a position to do? So therefore, um, yeah. Right. So therefore, let's see. Do you see Super League Kerala like models emerging in the absence of National League? Not that it's the right thing to happen if you consider football development. Ishan, we have those kinds of models. You've had a shortened version in Gujarat. You have the one in Arunachal. Bengal Super League is another copy of that. Again, we've got state leagues and now we've got these, so to say, franchise leagues. I don't know if it'll work. I don't think it'll work. Let's put it this way. But we have to wait and see. Now, does any sane person in the world will put his club in AFF run the league after seeing the track record of AFF? Kumar, if that is your logic, then the I League wouldn't have run for the last 15 years, right? So there have been insane people who have been putting money into football clubs, right? So I get your logic and I agree to it, but people have been putting money into it, right? Is Indian football fans mental? When did any government sponsor any sports league? If FF league government, then maybe PSU comes forward. No, no PSUs come forward. Yeah, yeah. So therefore, nothing's happening, right? So Canada Super League get GST rate by state government. Each time that shows me that there are financial irregularities. I've always said the finances, you know, uh, are going to decide things, and the financials are not adding up, guys. The financials for the Kerala, the SLK are not adding up, in my opinion. That's the challenge, right? Did you face any question from your friends in Europe regarding the whole Messi fiasco? Info was in news, but only for the wrong reasons. Yeah, Ishan, not only that. CFG was even more because I was involved with Mumbai City. Even Germany, people have reported about it. Yeah, of course. And the Messi fiasco. Forget the Kolkata part. It's very interesting that in India the focus has been Kolkata and its chaos, but in the rest of the world, it's sort of meme quality stuff in regard to Revant Reddy trying to play football. In Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis' wife pushing aside people and wanting to take a picture with Messi. Cricket World Cup ticket launch with Messi, all that stuff. So there are things which you think like, why, how? Yeah, we're a joke on that film. Why Kalyan not given resignation? Shukanto, because he doesn't want to leave the chair. You know, I think, and I've said this for the last 2 years, he should have been gone for a while, but he's still there. So that's the problem. Arunava, if the sports minister has changed the constitution for the league, then the contempt of court will be on sports ministry. Yeah, but he will not say that. If you realize that the one good thing that the National Sports Governance Act, which has come into force today, is that it is a barrier to these kind of actions from the government to intervene in the running of sporting federations. So that's the good thing, and therefore I don't think the sports minister will say, you know what, step in and change this, change that. They will not. Yes, sir. I remember you said when I asked you a question, you said Kerala Super League is financially not stable. Yeah, it's just logical. If you add up the numbers, if you think the logical things, it just doesn't add up. Super League Kerala is nice, is good, but again, if you want to do things, it is crazy. Yesterday, Olympic gold medalist Anna Bindra chaired government mandated task force set up to review India's sports administration with the aim of making it more professional, efficient, and athlete focused. Some it sounds nice, but what's the task force highlighted systematic government key sports institutions, including Sports Authority of India, National Sports Federation, state sports departments from to you. Yeah. Does it change anything? Again, it changes nothing, right? It's a nice thing to have and talk about. None of the Hawking's equation can define the black hole Indian football is in. Apparently, nonetheless, jokes aside, Happy New Year, sir. Tinka, thank you very much. Happy New Year to you as well. And yeah, it is, as I say, the black hole theory of Indian football is while any spaceship, starship, whatever you want to call it, or even if there are beings in a black hole, they'll try and turn around and get out of that black hole. The AIFF is pulling us even deeper into that black hole. So, so therefore, that's the problem. That the we're not. So therefore, from a thinking perspective, that black hole theory that I have is Indian football is a black hole, and we've gone so deep into it to get out of it. It just again, and also we need to be very clear. Even if the league happens, even if the ISL happens, that is not the end of the story, right? How's the handball project shaping up? Not at all, Ishan, because we have a problem with the federation over there as well. So again, Indian sports is a mess. So therefore, all these Bindra reports and whatever, right? Someone says Bindra's report pointed out that the current setup suffers from understaffing, lack of coordination, over dependence on generous civil servants who may lack specialized sports governance. Nice to say. What changes are you making? I've seen a report about this 15 years back. What have they done? Nothing. While league in other countries very successful. Shrikanta, because they follow a path and they know what your investments are, what your structure is. We've blindly done things and we're not getting anywhere with that, right? To me, that is a big problem in my opinion, that we are somewhere stuck in our system and we're not getting to where we need to get. That's reality to me. Given the uncertainty regarding National League, OCI may only hope at least in the near future. Ishan, I've said that it was in connection to this or independent of this, peers and OCIs have been our hope over the last 2.5 decades. I mean, 2001 is the first time I raised it. We're in 2026. We've not worked from a government perspective to enable players of origin to come into India and represent us. It is, to think about it, is insane. Do you know Avinav Bindra? Met him. Seems like a really genuine, honest, transparent dude. He's educated, well off, and has been at the forefront working for the well being of athletes. Yeah, Samat, again, eh, an Olympic champion, a gentleman. Yes, I've met him at, I don't know how many times, 3, 4 times. Lovely conversations. But again, it's not, Avinav Bindra will say the right things. Will the government do the right things? Right? Will the government follow the path which is right? That's the thing. So as much as Governor Avinav Bindra will say and do the right thing, it is not on him, it is on the government to do the right thing. And that is where I suffer, because I don't see the things happening the right way that they need to happen. So therefore, again, you will have these working groups. Again, this is like AIFF, committee after committee after committee, and kuch nahi hota hai. That's the reality of Indian sports. Nearly 1 hour, 40 minutes. Quick reminder, like, share, and subscribe Arun Foot here on YouTube. Um, visit our social medias, visit arunfoot.com. 21 likes so far. Thank you very much. And if you haven't, do leave a like, man. And of course, also subscribe to the channel if you like what we're talking about. 3,640 is where we are today. 4,000 and then 5,000. And what I've said yesterday as well, uh, you know, you know, so therefore for me, sadly as it is, I'll be most probably over the years starting doing more of international football as well, because yeah, there might be no football for the rest of the season. So that's also a reality that we have, and let's wait and see what happens. But that is something that I'm sadly have to look at, doing more international football, even though why sad? I like football anyway, so we'll talk about other leagues and games. Another Ashish Negi said Justice Rao recommendation to the Constitution by Kalyan Chaudhuri said he's a retired judge. We should not take him seriously. Supreme Court order is important. Okay, I don't know. I haven't heard this. Um, yeah, whatever. Again, is he taking anyone seriously? That would be my question to you. That's part of the problem, right? With Kalyan at the moment, is he actually seriously contemplating on taking anyone seriously on these matters? It's a general problem in my opinion. You know, Ochut says, I sometimes wonder what is the solution given that we have problems in every area of Indian football. Ochut, there is no simple, nice solution to the problems. Our problem is that we've got problems across levels, as you say, right? Um, you open, let's say you've got you know, a cupboard, and then you open the drawers, and every drawer that you open, there is a problem in it rather than a solution. We need to get from this, and again, this committee business is theoretical business, to get into the working mode. You know, uh, you know. So therefore, for me, the problem is who's going to rectify the mistakes at different levels, right? So yeah, let's wait and see. Again, I've said this multiple times. If we rectify the All India Football Federation, if we rectify the problems at the top, does it solve our issues across the board? No, it doesn't. Right. So that's the problem. I think you should try to do some kind of interview and conversation with Abhinav. I believe your inputs would help him understand the Indian sports, especially the dire football scene, better. Samat, yeah, I can reach out to him. Let's see. Good idea, actually. But yeah, but he's also a smart cookie. I don't even know if if you do an interview, if we're going to talk about the things openly as he would and should, right? Because he's part. indirectly part of the system. Unrated, but do you see the English coach making use of Kane's playmaking abilities that seem to have improved because of playing for Bayern? Can be a real asset for the World Cup. Ishan, with England having, sorry, just let me get up once. With England being in the situation that England are, England have a lot of very, very interesting players, in my opinion, right? If you see that uh, uh, I think they would rather use Kane as a pure attacker. Uh, um, mm, than actually using Kane's playmaking capabilities. Because again, I've got those wingers, I've got those playmakers, I've got options, right? I've got Saka, I've got Foden, I've got Morgan, I've got this, I've got that, I've got, you know, yeah, England has options. Kalyan Chaubey said Supreme Court order is important in the context of not changing league ownership, operations running, and promotion relegation clause amendments. Yeah, Kumar, but that's rubbish, right? Because the Supreme Court has given the power back to you. You, Kalyan Chaubey, can change those things. You don't need the Supreme Court. So therefore, what you've written makes no sense. So just of course, how do the finance of IWL clubs work? Anish, sponsors or rich people funding, as in the men's game. And Anish, you generate even less money from things in the women's game than in the men's game. So it's even tougher, right? Those are, again, realities of Indian sports. I think you should try to do shows around the World Cup, but I guess you will be busy around that time. Ishan, yeah, that's something, so yeah, let's wait and see what can be done. I watched Propi Dash's Bengali interview in a podcast. He pointed out some very controversial aspects of the system. Uchit, I haven't seen it. I know you forwarded it to me. I have to watch it. Um, and see, yeah, Propi he's been around for the last 15 years, right? So he's seen things most probably he wouldn't like to have seen, but he has. And therefore, yeah, he can, and he's an older one. He's on the verge of going out. If you think he didn't get a nice, he didn't play well for Kerala Blasters, didn't play well for Mumbai City. Now he was with Inter Kashi. Um, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Then how do those IWL clubs sustain? Anish, no one sustains. They're fighting for money every year. No, Indian club football, nobody sustains. There is no sustainability in the system. To use the word sustainability in connection with Indian club football, men's or women's, makes no sense. People are jumping up money to ensure that the payments are made. And you are right. I've said this earlier today. Uh, um, you know, um, for their standards, the cost of the women leagues is also too high. What do you make of the World Cup draws, by the way? Ishan, interesting groups with 48 teams. Let's see what happens in March in the playoffs. And then we look forward to June, July. And yeah, surely I'll be, depending on my work schedule, hopefully I'll be doing a few live watch alongs during the World Cup. Clubs agreed, broadcaster found? No. To what? Why would the clubs agree? Right? Jamshedpur FC in theory are saying we would be interested because we have to play, but otherwise all other 13 clubs, even East Bengal, have turned it down. Given the expanded format of the World Cup, it will be interesting to see how competitive games will be, but on paper, at least some teams are clear favorites. Ishan, it could be that until the quarterfinals or pre-quarterfinals, the tournament might be boring. There might be some interesting games, but there might be some one-sided games. So therefore, let's wait and see. But again, it could turn out to be totally different. So therefore, these are things, these are realities. And therefore, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. The World Cup is around the corner. I'm wishing, you wishing, we all wishing for an exciting, for an interesting tournament, and then we'll see what happens. It's not clear what will happen, but yeah, we'll have to see. Did you watch Bhutia? What's your take on that? No, I haven't. Orko, I need to watch them, but I haven't seen both of them. I don't think Governor was referred to any government position or title. The government just made a chairman of this task force asking a recommendation of 9-member committee. I think he would be real. Somewhat, yeah, maybe not. Again, when SAF Cup is going to commence, who's going to host? But it will happen this year. I think Bangladesh is supposed to host, if I'm not wrong. Interesting to see if Bangladesh can host it or not, given also the politics around things at the moment. Right. Slowly, I want to come towards the end of the first Indian football discussion of the year 2026. Once more, a reminder, like, share, and subscribe. Arun Foot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias, visit arunfoot.com. Watch the short videos. Again, guys, I need your support. Um, put in a little bit of effort. So therefore, thanks to those of you who regularly watch things. And yeah, and subscribe if you haven't. 3,640 is where we stand at this moment. The aim, the first aim of the year is to get to 4,000 and then to 5,000. So let's see how much we can achieve. And yeah, we need to grow the community. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on X, support me on those. Without your support, this channel. So therefore, yeah, so that is something that is there. Happy New Year, Hypermaster, to you as well. Congratulations, Izumi. I guess again he said Ryan and him said we left our passports to India. I don't see the same kind of commitment from AIFF. Didn't understand the statement from him. I have not seen interviews, so I can't say what he meant. Bangladesh have multiple stadiums to host, of course, Subodh. See, Bangladesh progress very higher than us. Yeah, Chukan, so that's the reality. With all problems that Bangladesh are going through, their football in 2024, 25 has had a massive jump, a massive impact since Hamza Chaudhuri started playing for them. So those are realities. Those are realities, and those are the changes. And and let's see. Again, Rav, the only thing I have interest or curiosity about is how Ryan plays in Indian national jersey with these Indian players. Some he plays with them in club. So he knows what he's getting himself into. He knows the players. So I don't have a problem. I Ryan will be an asset to us. Sadly, too late in the qualifiers. Right. With that, once more, like, share, and subscribe. Arun Foot, especially those of you who might be watching it later on. Thanks as always, guys. Thanks for all the views in 2025. I know 2026 will be tough, but I hope that the changes come. And I'll be doing lives as regularly as I can. Let's see if I do one tomorrow or not, or maybe on Saturday. And yeah, I need to start doing interviews, which I wanted to do, intended to do. And let's see what it is. And Ryan Bia Hamza, Subodh, I don't know. Let's see. And I think he will be. Now, to maintain strict salary cap, why cannot FC put their man for every club as contract, negotiate and sign on behalf of the club? This is the only way to see salary cap information. Kumar, it's illegal. That doesn't work. So I don't know. Theoretically, again, you guys have a lot of theoretically nice ideas which practically you can't implement. A contract between the player and the club is not something that the league has to sit on. Right. Because I can always do a second contract. Thanks a lot. Good night, everyone. And I'll catch you very soon. Bye.